Don't bother me, I'm working. Don't bother me, I'm working.
So what's going on, y'all? So today I want to talk about understanding that what the business makes is far from what you make in business. And this is a lesson that not only that you need to know with a cleaning franchise, but in any business, is that everything that the business makes is not what you make. And I know that sounds so basic, right? But really, you really have to understand and really take this in. First of all, let's take these franchises, for example, these cleaning franchises, for example, and these packages. And that package amount that you ready to buy in, let's say if you buying it at a $4,000 a month level, you need to understand just how much of that $4,000 that you are actually going to get as the owner of the business and not the actual business. First of all, you already know that the franchise company takes its fees off top. But then you also got to remember that everything else that you have to pay first, whether it's employees, whether it's for equipment, you know what I mean, whether it's gas, whether you never know what the case may be. And then you also supposed to leave money in the reserves for the business itself to operate with. So you're only getting a percentage. And so what I recommend that you do, first of all, is keep your expenses low. Keep your monthly expenses low. Don't think that you're going to be rich within the next year or two. Don't think that you're going to be well off anytime soon. This is a business and you're building from the ground up. It just so happens that with this business that you have a little bit of income to start off with. Unlike most businesses that really got to start from nothing and work their way up. But it's still a business that you have to build all the way up. And you got to remember that Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither will your business be. So keep in mind, again, that everything the business makes isn't yours. So for example, again, let me try to break it down better because I couldn't do it the first time. So let me try this again. So on a $100,000 a year business, you probably won't take home, especially after putting money in the bank for the actual business to operate as well. You're probably only going to take home maybe $30,000, $35,000. And that's normal. That's not a ripoff. You have to understand this, and you have to really understand how business works. This is not a ripoff. This is not me trying to convince you that it's okay to make a 30% margin. See, this is what you got to understand. This is not an investment. Like, this is not. How can I put this? See, you're not doing it from an investor's perspective. You're doing it from a business owner perspective. So therefore, it's not about a ROI. ROI is for investments. But when you're doing a business, it's not about a ROI. When you see, what happens is you're going to be the president of your company, right? And the president of a company or CEO of a company draws a salary. They don't get an ROI from the company. They get a salary, and that's what you got to remember. So you're only going to make a salary from what the business makes. And that salary is only going to be a percentage. And really, in 9 out of 10 cases, it's going to be a very small percentage of what the company grosses. If you got my ebook, you saw the example where I said, Google the CEO of Microsoft and look up what his salary is. And then Google how much does Microsoft actually make per year. And if you notice, the CEO of Microsoft doesn't even make 0.1% of the gross revenue that Microsoft brings in every year. And that's normal for businesses. That's normal for a company. You're not supposed to make anything close to what the business brings in because there's so many things that the business has to cover outside of you. And the business is supposed to carry a balance on its own. So you really have to understand what you're doing with business. Like, these cleaning franchises, I know to you or to us, $10,000 might seem like a lot of money per month if you bought in at a level of $10,000 per month. But you have to remember that $10,000 really ain't shit for a business. That's a lot for a person to make per month. That might be okay for a person to make per month. But that's nothing for a business to make. Okay? So whether you buy in at the lowest level or the highest level, just remember that what the business makes isn't what you make. And that's not just with franchises, that's with any business, period. And a lot of people don't like to share this type of information or expose you to this side of it, because for whatever reason, entrepreneurs like to sell you guys dreams. And I'm not really sure why, but I do my best to keep it transparent, but while at the same time still inspiring you to want to be your own boss, because at the end of the day, it's definitely more rewarding to own your own company than it is to report to somebody else's company. And it'll build wealth for you, and you can pass that on to your kids and all of that. But you just got to understand, if you're going to build something that strong and build something that can sustain for generations to come, you have to understand just exactly what it really takes in order to build a business. And people outside of your business ain't going to understand it. They won't get it. They won't understand when you're going through hard times, and they won't understand that it costs to grow a business. So when you tell them that your business is growing, but they haven't seen a real difference in your lifestyle, they think you're supposed to be rolling in the dough and taking vacations every weekend and doing this and that. But that's not how it works. When people say you have to build a business, you really seriously do have to build a business. The key word is build. I'm telling y'all. When I say it's blood, sweat, and tears, it's literally. Alright? Hopefully I'm making this very clear to y'all. Even if it's an internet business, like you gotta build that thing. It might not be the blood part. You probably will sweat, and you probably gonna have some tears too, but you might skip the blood if it's internet business. But either way, you gotta put in that work, man. And you gotta keep going and be willing to see the big payout a long ways from the time that you're putting in the work. Alright? So hopefully this is registering to you. I don't know. I feel like I'm not getting it all the way to you. I feel like I'm missing the link to make it hit home, but hopefully I'm getting it to you. Because you really have to understand this and internalize this. And that's why I always recommend people to stay at that job if you can, and just try to rebuild the business. Because if you rebuild the business and let all the profits go back into the business, this growth process will be a piece of cake, because you don't need the money from the business to live off of. But if you quit that job and you try to go the sweat equity route, that's cool, but just know that you're gonna have some tough times. Alright? So thank y'all for subscribing, watching, liking, sharing, and commenting. AJ Simmons. See y'all tomorrow, 7 a.m. Thanks.